Good morning, students. In the last video, beta, I told you about how the refraction takes place in a prism. I showed you the prism and all the terms I explained you. Today, our topic is we have to do the derivation. I1 plus I2 is equal to A plus delta. Now, what is I1? I1 is beta angle of incidence. This is OP is incident ray. It is striking on the inclined surface AB. Then it is going from air to glass because prism is made up of glass. So this PQ is refracted ray. It has to bend towards the normal because this is the equilateral prism we have shown. So the ray will go parallel to the base of the prism. Then the ray has to emerge out. It has to come out through another inclined surface AC, and this QR will be the emergent ray. Always remember, the ray which is coming out, it must bend towards the base of the prism. Then beta, at the point of incidence, at point P you will draw the normal, at point Q you will draw the normal. Both the normals must intersect each other. Now this I1 is angle of incidence, angle between incident ray and normal. I2 is angle of emergence, the angle between emergent ray and normal. This one is R1, angle PNQ. This is, angle NPQ. This is R1, angle of refraction, angle between refracted ray and normal. In the same way, beta, this is second angle of refraction, R2. Now next step is we have to produce the incident ray backward. Actually the ray must travel in the straight way. Ray must go like that, but it has got deviated. So this is first angle of deviation. Then after that you have to produce the emergent ray backward. This one will be delta 2. Then how much angle is formed between these two rays? This delta I have shown. This is called the angle of minimum deviation. Now we have to prove this one. Now what is A here? Angle of prism. What is delta here? Angle of deviation. So try to understand it beta. Here we will use the mathematical theorems. I think everybody has read in a triangle. Beta, if one side of the triangle is produced, then the angle formed by that produced line. If you see this triangle M, P and Q. In triangle MPQ, this side is produced beta, ML. ML is produced. So this one is delta. This is at point P, this is delta 1 and this is delta 2. The exterior angle is equal to sum of the interior opposite angles. I think 6th or 7th standard you have done that one. The exterior angle is equal to sum of its interior opposite angles. So delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. Then next one beta, that one also you have done. If two intersecting lines are there, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Either angle 1 or angle 2 or angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 1 should be equal to angle 2 or angle 3 is equal to angle 4. If you see now this line beta OML and the line PN, these are intersecting lines. So what will be the vertically opposite angles? I1 is equal to delta 1 plus R1. Then in the then see second line that is MQR, this line and this N and Q. It means again I2 is equal to delta 2 plus R2. I2 is equal to delta 2 plus R2. Now what we have to do beta? Because in the first equation we have written delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. So we will find from here delta 1's value and delta 2's value. It will be I1 minus R1. And here delta 2 will be equal to I2 minus R2. Now substitute the value of delta 1 and delta 2 in equation 1. Substitute the value of delta 1 and delta 2 in equation first. So delta will be equal to I1 minus R1 plus delta 2 is I2 minus R2. Now what we are going to do next step, it will be equal to I1 plus I2 minus we will take common beta. So inside it will be R1 plus R2. Then next step is beta, now you have to take the quadrilateral A, P, N, Q. We have to take the quadrilateral A, P, N and Q. So that is why I have drawn here separately. So beta, this angle and this angle both are 90 degree. This is angle of prism and this is angle N. In quadrilateral A, P, N, Q. You can see from here also A, P, N, Q. This angle is 90 degree. In the same way this angle is 90 degree. Beta, 4 angles are there. So angle APN plus angle APN plus PNQ plus angle PNQ plus angle NQA plus angle NQA plus angle QAP. QAP is equal to 360 degree. The sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. So beta, angle P and Q are 90 degree each. Angle APN is 90 degree and plus angle PNQ plus angle NQA is also 90 degree plus angle, I am simply writing here angle A is equal to 360 degree. Now beta, what will be, now you are in 10th standard, so I am going to write here only single step. Angle PNQ will be equal to 90 plus 90 will be 180 degree is equal to 360 minus angle A. Now what will be the value of P and Q? It will be 360, this 180 degree when we will bring to this side, it will become 180 minus angle A. Then beta, next step is you have to take the triangle, because if we will see this equation beta, we have to find the value of R1 plus R2. For finding the value of R1 and R2, what we are going to do, we are going to take the triangle PNQ. We have to take the triangle PNQ. This is P, this is Q, this is N. This is R1, this is R2, and that angle we will find. In triangle PNQ, so angle P, simply I am writing here in short form, plus angle N plus angle Q is equal to 180 degree. Now what is angle P here? R1 plus angle PNQ plus R2 is equal to 180 degree. Now beta, what is the value of angle PNQ? It will be equal to 180 degree minus R1 plus R2. Beta, now you see this equation, I am going to write here A, this equation B. Now compare equation A and equation B. Now you see left hand side is same. It means right hand side must also be same. So 180 minus angle A is equal to 180 minus R1 plus R2. Beta, 180 and 180 will cancel. So it means this negative sign will also cancel. angle A will be equal to R1 plus R2. Now name this equation as 2. What we will do now? We will substitute the value of R1 plus R2 in equation 2. Substitute the value of R1 plus R2 in equation 2. What you will get? Delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus angle A. Now next step will be beta delta plus angle A. Angle A we will bring to this side. It will become positive is equal to I1 plus I2. Now beta at the top you see what we were going to prove it already now we have proved. And that symbols should be clear to you. Delta is angle of deviation, A is angle of prism, I1 is angle of incidence, I2 is angle of emergence. Now next is factors on which angle of deviation depend. Factors on which angle of deviation depends. So beta main 4 factors are there. First factor is angle of incidence. On angle of incidence. Second one is beta angle of prism. Angle of prism. Third one is upon the material of the prism. Upon the material of the prism means of which material the prism is made. Different types of glasses are there. What is their refractive index? And last factor is color or wavelength of light. Here you can write down mu also. Color or wavelength of light. So one by one beta I will tell you. First factor is beta angle of incidence. For that this graph is very important. Angle of incidence is on x-axis and angle of deviation is on y-axis. So this shape of graph should be there. Don't draw the shape like that and don't draw the shape like that. Both are entirely wrong for ICSE examination. So you have to draw the shape like that. Now please try to understand. Suppose this is 0. From when we will go from left to right beta, value will increase. It means when angle of incidence is increasing, see this curved part, it is falling down. It means angle of deviation is decreasing. On reaching this particular angle of incidence, you see here the delta is minimum. At this point, this is delta minimum. Then on further increase in angle of incidence, now this line is going up. This curved part is going up. It means angle of deviation is increasing. Once again, angle of incidence is on x-axis, angle of deviation on the y-axis. When we will increase angle of incidence, you are going towards the right side beta, increase in value of I is there, but this angle of deviation is falling down, it is decreasing. On reaching at this angle of incidence, this delta minimum will be there, means angle of deviation will be having least value. And when you will further increase the angle of incidence, the angle of deviation will also start increasing. Then beta second factor is angle of prism. Yesterday also I told you the angle, I showed you the prism and I told you beta the angle between two refracting surfaces. That is called angle of prism. When angle of prism will be more, angle of deviation will also be more. Then third one is upon the material of the prism. The glass which will be having more refractive index, its more deviation will be there. Then last factor is color of wavelength of light. Color or wavelength of light. We are knowing there are beta 7 colors are there: V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. This violet color is having least wavelength, and this R is having a maximum wavelength. So this deviation, it is inversely proportional to lambda. It is inversely proportional to wavelength. So red color is having maximum wavelength, so it will deviate least. This violet color is having least wavelength, so it will deviate most. Inverse relation means one thing will increase, another will decrease. So when we are going from V to R with your color, I think you are knowing white light, when it is allowed to pass through the prism, it splits itself into 7 colors. That is called dispersion of light, and 7 colors are V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. V is at the bottom, R is at the top. V is having least wavelength. As we are going up, wavelength increases. So red color is having maximum wavelength. So red is having maximum wavelength, its deviation will be least. But this violet color is having least wavelength, so it will deviate more. That is why beta violet color will deviate most when it will that white light will allow to pass through the prism. When you are seeing this spectrum, violet color will deviate most, red color will deviate least. That question also they can ask. Among the spectrum, which color deviate most, which color deviate least, then you should know, and you should know the reason also, because of this violet color is having least wavelength, red color is having maximum wavelength. Then see this diagram beta. Now I am telling you diagram is same only. Conditions for delta minimum. What are the conditions for finding the value of delta minimum beta? First thing, always remember, this angle I and angle E must be equal. Angle I should be equal to angle E. Their values must be same. Suppose that here it is 48 degree, but here it is 40 degree. It means this is not a delta minimum, it will be simple delta. Second condition is that the refracted ray must be parallel to the base of the prism. Refracted ray will be parallel to base of the prism. You have to draw these two lines, this refracted ray parallel to BC. Then one thing more beta, in the rectangular slab, yesterday I told you, last video I told you कि the incident ray and emergent ray, they are parallel to each other, because in rectangular slab these two lines are parallel to each other, so these two rays were parallel. But in case of prism, because these are the inclined lines beta, these are not parallel to each other, so incident ray will never be parallel to emergent ray. That is the difference, refraction through prism and refraction through glass slab. And if they will ask you how we will find this delta minimum, then use the same formula. I1 plus I2 is equal to A plus delta. And in the case of delta minimum, always remember this A is 60 degree. That equilateral prism is there. I1 and I2, here you see 48 degrees there. I2 is also 48 degree. 48 plus 48 is equal to, this is 60 degree. And I think you can find out. Delta minimum will be equal to 36 degree. Delta minimum is equal to 96 degree minus 60 degree. So it will be 36 degree. So delta minimum will be having that much value. I think if any triangle they are giving you, easily you can find out whether there is delta minimum is there or not. If angle I and angle E is same, without thinking, then refracted ray must also be parallel. Use this formula, find the value of delta. Then beta, in the last video, one topic was there, when an object is kept in front of the thick glass plate, multiple images are formed, but second image is the brightest. Then I explained you कि suppose this A is the object which is kept in front of this one, then beta this one will be incident ray, AB is incident ray, then BP is its reflected ray, and this BB dash is its reflected ray, refracted ray. Now when this refracted ray which is falling on NP, for that surface it will act as incident ray, and B dash C will be its reflected ray. And when you will produce this reflected ray backward, this image is the brightest image because first strong reflection is there. Now beta, this reflected ray will act as incident ray for the surface ML. Then C dash will be its second reflected ray. In the same way, here also reflection take place, here also reflection takes place, here also reflection will be there. But these reflected rays will be having less brightness. Their intensity will start decreasing. And A2 was the brightest one, because here first reflected ray was there. That was the reason here strong reflection take place. And further what will happen? Intensity will start decreasing, so brightness of the image will also start decreasing.